Good morning, everybody. I'm Dr. Julia Royston of BK Royston Publishing for the Kingdom Ministries, Radio Media and Publishing, and the Book Business Boss is helping you get your message to the masses, turn your words into wealth, and be a book business boss. So this is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice, we shall sing, and we shall be glad in it. I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. Now you're saying, church, wherever the Lord is, there is liberty. And he is inside of me. Hey! So we've been talking about assignment. Happy end of April. Oh my goodness. This is the last Sunday of April. Super excited about what all we've been able to do and accomplish in April. Had a whirlwind week. And month. And 2024 has been something else all year long so far, and we're just into year 4. What the rest of the year has in store, only God knows. So my topic today is lean into God. We're still talking about assignment, and but He wants us to make sure that we lean into God for what He just said a few minutes ago: God essentials, God essentials, the God essentials, the God focus, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy path, is the rest of Proverbs 3 and 5. So lean into God for when you're dealing with your assignment. And when you're on assignment, there are several things that often arise. A lot of times you're overwhelmed by the assignment itself. I remember leaving private school and going to public school. I was completely out of my league. I was open, but I was out of my league. Them children had me. They had me. That whole first year they won. I didn't win. I had a couple of innings I might have been ahead, but they won that whole year. I give them that credit. They won. They got the whole year. But the thing that I did not really, I was so overwhelmed by the task and the new environment, the people, and one gentleman I ran into, he was the teacher in the building at the time. He closed the door and he said, "Trust no one." So that's the reason why I really had to lean into God those whole 12 years I was there. Because number one, the agenda. Because sometimes you have an agenda just to do a job, but God has another agenda. And then if you're in a building with 30 other people, they all have 30 agendas. And you're thinking, what the world? We're all here to help kids. No. That just may be the reason why we exist. That's an exist statement. That's not necessarily the agenda. Everybody has their own agenda. Are they trying to get rich? Are they trying to get famous? Are they trying to be well known? Are they just trying to pay bills? Are they just trying to get connected to people so they can build their bigger network? And so there's always an agenda. So my background has primarily been music, schools, libraries, and that. But think of your own environment. Think of your own job. Think of you. I don't care if you're digging ditches, climbing poles for the phone company, electric company. I don't care what you're doing. Somebody has a different agenda than the business existence agenda. So there are multiple agendas. So therefore, as you continue to move forward, and God doesn't always reveal everything up front. He doesn't tell you. You just have an assignment. And then you healed as you went, as they went. You'll understand it better, old folks say, by and by. So God's agenda is something to me that is a point to be seeking God every day. This is just my opinion. You could take, as they say, eat the meat and spit out the bones and ignore some other things that I say. But that God agenda, what do you want from me from this situation? What is your point for me being here? Is it maybe a daily or even an hourly task? Every meeting a task. Every new person that comes into your sphere of influence. When I'm at events, sometimes I'm in prayerful mode when new people roll up on my table. Hi, how are you? I'm speaking, I'm cordial, but there could be an agenda. I have no idea. An agenda to meet me, to network with me. There also could be an agenda to pick my brain, figure out how much I know. Could be an agenda to humiliate me or demean me or embarrass me. You have to be ready for it all. So, in that new assignment, or even an expanded assignment, reduced assignment, whether we're going forward, backwards, left, from side to side, up, down, all around, downsizing, all elevation, what's the point? What's the agenda? I know I'm on God's agenda because I'm striving to be in his perfect will. But his agenda, the enemy's agenda, is still kill and destroy, always. But then the job agenda, the assignment agenda, and the people in it, and even what I had in my mind, excuse me, may not even be the same. Mm-mm. So number one is the assignment: lean into God for the agenda. What's on the agenda? What are we going to be discussing? And then next, what are the objectives? What are the goals and objectives for this thing? You got to lean into God for it, because the one thing you thought you were just going for a job and a paycheck, or you just going to do ministry and do it's something totally different. So, what are your goals and objectives? And like I said earlier, it may be an hour by hour, it may be a day by day, it may be a week by week. It may take you years and you look back and go, oh, that was the agenda and that was the objective. That was the goal, to be able to, some of the most painful, hurtful situations that I've ever gone through, and this is just a transparent parent moment on my part, was to be able to stand by myself and be able to hear God's voice and walk with only an audience of one or the approval of one. That's hard. That's a tough one. That's a tough one, especially when you've always been taught that your moves should be confirmed, everything should be confirmed, and sometimes there's some parts in your life where the objective is not for anyone to hear God but you. Ugh. I've seen that post on social media, like, you can't share your vision with everyone because they're not going to get it because only you see it. Not only you see it. It's like a scripture when the enemy or surrounding. I can't remember the prophets at the time, but he told God, "Open up the young man's eyes so he can see." So he can see. I see it. I see angels. I see warriors standing on horses, ready to defend and ready to work. But sometimes we don't see it. So sometimes the agenda, the objective, sometimes it's written, sometimes it's not. I've gone into meetings, and especially when I work for a Fortune 500 company, they said I always come with either some questions, some solutions, some new ideas, something, always. And some solution that you had from the last time, your homework, etc. But then this one time I came where they had a piece of paper, and I'm like, no, you go first, because that could have been a pink slip or whatever. But it was they and analyzed my work ethic, then they realized my pay was not going with the amount of work I was doing. So therefore they adjusted, they elevated. So I got a raise like on the spot. Oh, I was thrilled. I thought I was in that job for the long haul, but it wasn't. It was just to expose me to that level of work and that level of methodology. I only get to stay on that job a year, and then God said go back home because he had another assignment for me. He had another objective. He wanted me to see the outlook. He wanted me to be able to see on that level. But he didn't want me to get comfortable in that level, because that's not where he was taking. That wasn't on his agenda. So my outlook, I could see on that level. I'm like, ooh, but I had to transfer that vision in that position to this, to where he was taking me, which to me, I thought was down to the ground. I thought, what did I do wrong? How did I miss God that I would have to take a 20-some $1,000 pay, almost $30,000 pay decrease? What did I do? I know I'm not perfect, but I don't remember doing anything just really bad for you to send me. Because, see, you remember God's assignments don't look like ours. His agenda don't look like ours. His objectives is to build your character, your integrity, your stamina, your consistency, your strength, your wisdom, your knowledge, your ear to hear him. His objective is totally different than yours. And then your outlook to be able to see, oh, making that level of money. I'd never made that level of money before, and then have it taken away. I thought I was in trouble, getting a whooping. But no. It was to teach me. I couldn't be taught the lessons that he wanted to teach me on that level. So I had to go back to square one. I had to come back home and then fight through the process again, so I could learn something else. Now, the money was terrible, but the access and the benefits and the training was unbelievable. I learned so much. So much. And what I thought were obstacles and in my way were just the things that were to strengthen me and train me. And, it's like watching a boxer and all the things that they send their body through and their mind through and their endurance and all the pain, so that when they actually get in the fight, they have what they need to be able to win. So some obstacles are not necessarily to destroy you, it's just to build you up. So your assignment, if you come and just joining me, or you're going to hear it on the replay, your assignment, you got to lean into God, because you need God's essentials, for his agenda, for his objective, for his outlook, the way he sees. His ways and our ways is definitely not the same. I definitely wouldn't have come back home. What? For what? What I come back home for? This is what my parents sent me to college for, to train me to be self-sufficient, to buy that house I wanted, to buy that car I wanted, to buy what? And to be independent and do my thing. That's what they trained me for. He's like, no, you can be independent, but not on that level, not in that space, because they're going to mold you and make you into what they want you to be. And you'll be building their kingdom and be building their wealth and be building their world. And what your parents taught you how to do was to build as well. But normally that's to get a career, to get a job. But God was like, no, we're going to have a happy medium. We're going to be able to work on our purpose, walk in our call. And then we're going to be able to build our own thing later, because this, where I have you now, is going to make you not want to stay there. But the money's all right and it feels really good. But I'm going to give you desires. I'm going to give you an enjoyment. I'm going to give you a new appetite. I mean, when I got ready to marry Brian, everything changed. Like my colors, I had to get rid of clothes. It was beautiful stuff. I talked about that before, but my thing for red just became, and in the apostolic church, you're not supposed to be in love with no red. What? That's the devil's color. No, that was his favorite color. That was everything transpired and transformed and changed. Everything was different. I had new friends, knew everything. My totally new environment. My sister came to my bridal shower and she said, only know the people who came in my car. Like, who is this? Who is my sister? Where'd y'all take my sister and drop her off at? And, but my everything had to change for the obstacles I was going to face, the rejection I thought, but it was really direction to where I was trying to go, so that I can be here in this space, in this time. And, old folks say I wouldn't trade nothing for my journey. I might have done some things differently. I might have, but I like the outcomes. I like who I am. I'm okay in my skin. Yeah. My skin may need to be a little smaller, but I'm okay in my skin, because I like the outcomes of the inside of me. Not just so much the outside, but the inside, the sleep I'm able to get at night, the rest I'm able to get at night. Oh yeah, I still have some obstacles, trouble in my way. I have to cry sometime, but I know Jesus will fix it. I got that. But the outcomes are really good. And I realize that if I lean into God and I lean in, we used to sing a song at my home church. I'm learning how to lean and depend on Jesus, because He's my God. I'm learning how to If I trust him, he will provide. What a fellowship. What a joy divine. Leaning on the everlasting arm. I got to lean into God because the outcomes are going to be phenomenal. Now, it's all going to work for my good. It's not going to always feel good, look good, or even be good, but it's going to work for my good. The assignment, lean not into your own understanding. The assignment, lean into God for God essentials. Lean not unto thine own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. You're in an assignment. You're on assignment. You're either coming out of one assignment or heading into another one. We're getting ready to come out of this month and head into the next month. No matter when you're listening to this, you're going to come out of one day and you're leading into another day. Long as you're above ground breathing, in him we live, in him we move and have our being. As long as we're alive, we're moving from one space to another. We serve a moving God. He changes not. The core of him does not change, but he's moving. He's in motion. He's constantly constant. He is bringing about the divine connections and arrangements to get the purpose and his plan fulfilled in your life and in the earth. Are you a part of it? Are you going to be all in your assignment? Do you accept the assignment and be all in? Or going to keep your own agenda and your own objectives and not be and live the abundant life that he designed for you to live and be? Oh no, that's left up to you. That's your decision. But if I were you, lean into God for the God essentials, and he will direct your path. I trust that helps you today. I hope that blesses you. It blessed me. Even when he told me, he said, lean into me, lean on me. Yeah, you're smart, you're intelligent, you're not an idiot. I've given you gifts and talents and abilities. But when it comes to making decision making in this season and the next, you're going to need me. For this assignment and the next, you're going to need me. That's the way he likes it. So that you can live your best life. Coming up at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right there on envision-radio.com, where praise meets talk 24/7. Then 11 a.m., the Spike Davis and Friends show. Tune in for laughs, music, and more. And then Tuesdays, the Book Business Boss show, Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right there on envision-radio.com. The replays are on the Book Business Boss podcast.com. 100 ways to be a book business boss. Go to YouTube and type in at Book Business Boss and get that channel. Coming up on May 16th, the Book Business Boss panel number 1. I have 3 this summer. Stay tuned, more to come. The publishers panel, are you ready to be a publisher? 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on May 16th. You know, you're going to be able to see it on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. I'll have more details later, but mark your calendar, put a big red circle around it. On May 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you'll always get to hear the replays because the streams are always recorded. But on May 16th, the publishers panel. Are you ready to be a publisher? If you've written a book, most people even ask you, can you help me? Will you help me? But you got to be ready for it, what that next level looks like and what that next level should be like. So be sure to tune in. I have 3 of my great friends, Dr. Rhonda Lawson, Tanita Johnson, Ms. Vanessa Collins, and myself, 16 years in the game. Ooh, you know, I have a lot to talk about. So I'm looking forward to that evening. It should be a very lively and informative discussion. Bring your questions. Bring, things that you've been concerned about, things that you've had happen in the past. And of course, there'll always be opportunity for you to have one-on-ones, but the questions, we'll definitely be taking questions that night. So tune in May 16th. I'll have more. As I say, the church announcements will be more, but to keep up with me, go to JuliaAKRoyston.com. That's all my online stores, all of my websites. And of course, talkwithroyston.com is a way for you to have a discussion. If you've written a book, thought about writing a book, be sure and tune in there. And so who's joining us this morning? Hi, Cousin Lisa. How are you, love? Hey, there's the Ritchie family. Yay, good morning. Hey Beth, how are you? Good morning, good morning, good morning. And see me next year, being I was in Alaska last year. I don't know. We'll see what the Lord says. I love you. I know you all had a wonderful time. I saw the post and trust that you had a fantastic time. Hello, Miss Velsa. Been praying for you. Trust that you're doing well, and good morning to you too as well, love. So I trust and pray today, tomorrow, and always that you live your best life. I'm Dr. Julia Royston. Be blessed. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.